our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective.
With festivities continuing in the Middle East, I'm going to break down how he got us here, why he got us here, how this is going to affect you, where we go in the future, and a few little tidbits thrown in there for good measure. Okay, so the first step of how we got here, Trump hates Obama and tore up the Iran nuclear deal. This deal allowed Iran to continue developing nuclear energy, but not develop nuclear weapons, which is the reason why shit is going down in Iran right now. All right, that's how, but why? Why is Mr. No New Wars getting into a new war? Well, in the wake of tearing up that deal, there was some animosity, shall we say. And this last year it was reported that. Can't really say that on TikTok. And a similar sentiment going the other way from the U.S. towards Iran. Well, from him towards Iran. Any other reasons? Well, he did make a whole bunch of promises to big oil. He did say drill, baby, drill. That production would increase. Americans thought that meant lower gas prices, but that's not how it works. Production goes up when oil prices go up. First, he did it by slapping sanctions on us, on Canada. That's why there was this increase in March. And then came that April 2nd Liberation Day thing where he put sanctions on penguins. And then the price of oil and gasoline fell. Stayed low for a while, but now it's finally going back up to where they want it to be. Also, this little quinky dink. I mentioned yesterday that Iraq has to get their oil from Russia now because they're not going to get it from Iran. And China has been getting its oil from Iran as well. So now that's up in the air. Remind me again, is the United States in negotiations with China right now? Oh, yeah, they are. So this whole conflict, that's not good for China. It's a problem for China. China's going to have to find another supplier. Maybe Russia. It's funny how Russia seems to be benefiting from all this, eh? How does this affect you? Like, why is this causing problems for you? Let me start here. The Ras Tanura refinery. It's the largest Saudi oil port in the world, handling approximately 90% of the hydrocarbon materials exported from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It's located right there above the word Bahrain. Here's the Persian Gulf, Dubai, UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and there's Iran. Now remember, there's a sweet spot for oil. It can't be too cheap, but it can't be too expensive either. And Iran has made it known that if they're not going to be allowed to play in the sandbox, they're going to close off the sandbox. All the oil from all these countries won't leave through the Strait of Hormuz. Coincidentally, there was a little accident in the Strait of Hormuz. The story originally said 3 tankers collided. It's been updated to say 2 tankers collided, and it's because of electronic interference affecting the navigation systems. Wow, that's shitty timing, eh? Like, what a coincidence, eh? Just as the world is worried about something happening to block the Strait of Hormuz, 2 tankers collide because of electronic interference in the Strait of Hormuz. If that closes, oil is going to go to $150 a barrel. Everything's going to get super expensive. Again. And they'll tell you that they have to raise interest rates to control the price growth, even though the rates have nothing to do with the price growth. Now, as you may expect, there's a possibility that inflation may accelerate again. It's a big concern for the Bank of Canada. Big concern. And there's this trade uncertainty. Let me just point something out here, okay? That's our unemployment number right now, 7%. In 2020, the average unemployment was 8%. We're almost back to the same level we were at after the Great Financial Collapse. But they're worried about core inflation. I'll take this time to remind everybody that the Bank of Canada is the #1 cause of inflation, especially core inflation. Since December of 2022, the #1 cause of our inflation, the biggest thing driving inflation, is mortgage interest cost, which is directly derived from the Bank of Canada. That core rate has mortgage interest cost. CPI trim, CPI median, all this stuff they talk about, they're the ones driving it. So they are increasing the inflation that they're worried about increasing. Oh, and they're going to increase it some more. Stats Canada updates CPI basket raises weight of shelter, which has the mortgage interest cost, and transportation, which has gasoline. How fortuitous! Great time to make those specific revisions. Our inflation report is coming out next week. We're looking at a 1.2% inflation. And of course, with the changes to the basket and all that's happening right now, June is looking like 1.4, and the rest of the year is looking like this. It's funny how they're not talking about that 2% target anymore, eh? Makes you wonder why. I'm going to say this again. Our unemployment is at 7% right now. It's almost the same level it was as COVID, as the great financial collapse. And they're worried about core inflation, which they are the number one driver of. The U.S. is considering cutting rates. They're at 4.4% unemployment. We're at 7%. They said they're going to be reactive. What are they reacting to? Our shit economy or the possibility of easy bond sales?